All right, everybody, welcome on in. We're going to talk about where the stock market ended on Friday, where we can go from this week, 4-day trading week. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen, because this still could be a high flyer market here. Who knows? But let's look at it. Let's read from Yahoo Finance stock market today. That was on Friday. S&P 500 Nasdaq notch record close. Brush off renewal trade tension. July 9th is just around the corner. Will we have the trade talks or are we selling all the trades? Who knows? U.S. stock recovered on Friday afternoon to clinch fresh record despite renewed trade tension after President Trump said he was terminating talks with Canada. Canada's one of my big trade partners. The S&P 500 closed at an all-time high for the first time since February. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. February is a big drop-off. Then we had another drop-off in April when President Trump talked about trades. The benchmark index was trading near record territory for much of the session over optimism on the trade front, the U.S. and China clinching a trade truce in hopes for a rate cut from the Fed sooner rather than later. But we might not see a rate cut till at least August or September. We might see one in July, but I'm not counting on it. You shouldn't be counting on it either. Stock temporarily took a dramatic turn after Trump posted on social media that he was terminating all decisions on trade with Canada, back immediately citing Canada's digital service tax as the cause. He said he would set a new tariff rate on Canada goods within the next week. That could be this week coming up because this came out on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Market got a boost on the trade front on Friday as Trump said that the U.S. and China have signed a trade deal. We had not seen that. We heard about it, but we hadn't seen it. The two sides had cemented the tariff truce sealed last month in Geneva, and China has confirmed detail of the agreement trade framework per several media reports. Under the pact, China has committed to delivering rare earth mineral to the USA. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told Bloomberg, once that is underway, we'll take down our countermeasure, he says. Also on Friday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Friday said the U.S. could complete the balance of its most important trade talk by Labor Day, raising hope that the U.S. wouldn't be firm on its July 9th tariff deadline. Labor Day ain't till the first Monday of September, people. Just remember that. These tariffs could kick in on July 9th. That was just 9 days away as we talk about it here on this Monday morning. Meanwhile, the Fed rate path has also remained in focus. The latest reading on the Fed preferred inflation gauge showed price increase accelerate in May as inflation remained above the Fed's 2% target. We all know that their target at 2%. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has stressed that an uptick in price pressure could be a stumbling block to a rate cut. That report also contains signs of economic slowdown, however, which could further complicate the emerging debate between Fed hawks and doves. Is the Fed late or not late of lowering interest rate, ladies and gentlemen? There is $7 trillion sitting on the side waiting for a rate cut. If that rate cut come in, you're going to see a flood of money coming in, ladies and gentlemen. I think we should already had a rate cut this year, but who said I know? Market purge again as Trump sold confession on his summer tariff deadline. Stock par again Friday as Trump canceled trade talk with Canada and spurred confusion of the state of broader tariff notification ahead of July 9th deadline. Remember, July 9th deadline coming in here. They're all going to say here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a repeat of what they had said here. After Trump terminate, we talked about that earlier already. This is just blah, blah, blah. Bait rut. If this is important here, Fed rate cut and tech boom could lift market, but a choppy summer still looms, analysts warns. Remember that. It still looms. Our tech is keeping us up there, but who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Trade safely this 4 day, ladies and gentlemen, because we could have a market going up. Did you get out too soon? Do you think it was near the top? Because on Thursday, we could see a sell-off, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that people like to get out of the market before a long holiday. It's a 3 day weekend. Hope you enjoy your 4th of July. See you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.